Hi everyone and welcome back to the course where we will teach you everything you need to be able to start your journey with stocks and even to start with a strategy. So this video is going to be awesome because now we're actually going to be looking at how do you spot the right stock to trade? How do you know which is the right stock to invest in? Or for that matter, trade in. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So let's go over here to the flip chart. And what we're going to have a look at here, we're going to have a look at a few things, but I like to draw this and in the course we do this in a little bit more detail, but there's a couple of things you need to understand, all right? And we have gone through this in the past, by the way, so make sure you look back in the videos on where you're going to invest or what stocks you're investing in. But, and also, I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember if you've seen everything? Comment below what I'm going to say here. Well, obviously you don't know yet. But remember that when you're trading, we're always using that's right, a stop loss. But when you're investing, the asset cannot go to zero. Very important. So we have two things there. You have the whole market, right? The whole market is on one side here. So when we have a look here, you have the market. And on this side, you might have IPOs, right? IPOs are companies that have just launched on the stock exchange. Now, that's a risky right there, right? So here will be a lot of risk. If this is risk, right? This is risk. And it will be all the way there. But the risk here will be a little bit less, all right? And then you also have volatility. So volatility, right? Volatility. And volatility, what that is how much does it move? So how much do you think the whole market move? Well, not really, right? A couple of percent, what is it, 7% on average a year? It's nothing. But if you go on an IPO, so how much can a startup go up in value? Thousands of percent. But it's very risky because it could go to zero. So we don't want to do that either. So we're not really doing that. We don't want to invest in the whole market either. It's too little. So we want to be in the middle. So we want to be kind of where you have blue, chip companies, right? And really, the two things you can write down, like we discussed earlier, that the main question is they cannot go to zero, all right? That's important when you are investing, because there's no stop loss when you're investing. And the second thing is, of course, you could, instead of companies, blue chip companies, you could invest in something else that cannot go to zero. So how about gold, right? How about gold? How about silver? So those things, because here we have a sweet spot. We have, the volatility is okay, and the risk is also okay. So it's not too little, not too much, it's just right. So that's where we want to live. So maybe you can write some companies that cannot go to zero. Well, if there's a global company, they have product lines everywhere. This is just some, because look, practice makes perfect, okay? If you want to become a master at this, you need to practice. And when I say master, 20 minutes a day. You have to learn the strategies. But that's why we're going through this again, so you really learn it. So it cannot go to zero. Well, we have maybe Apple, right? I know this is not how you spell Apple, but this is the ticker that we use for TradingView. So Apple, and maybe we have Microsoft, maybe we have IBM, and then you have, what else? What else do you have? Maybe Disney, right? Disney, can they go to zero in the next 2 years? No way, right? They will be around. Well, we think so at least. But we can only do so much. And some companies like Kodak, earlier, they went bankrupt. They thought the digital camera was just, something that was going to pass, but obviously not. So Kodak went bankrupt. So it will happen, but you can do the most amount of due diligence that you actually can do. So those are the companies we're looking at. But now, when you have found a company that you want to invest in, then we need to decide the following, okay? So when you are trading, if we start with trading, then it's fine. You can do it with any company. Write this down. You can trade with any company on the planet. So what we will be looking for when we're trading, and this is what I want you to do, right? To start practicing this. I want you to start to spot patterns, okay? And there's two patterns I want you to look at. Number one is the breakout, okay? It's a breakout pattern, and this is exciting because imagine this. Well, let's actually focus on one, right? I want you to master one at a time. So let's focus on this. So when you are trading, we're finding a breakout here. So it looks like this. So it's trading in a range. And then what we're looking for is you guessed it, a breakout. It could be to the upside, it could be to the downside as well. But on this breakout, what's going to happen is you, my friend, is going to place an order. So what we're going to do, we're going to place an order here. We're going to have it in advance. So we're entering, when it breaks out, boom, it's going to trigger us in the market. And then you have a stop loss. Yep, that's right. We're trading, so always a stop loss. And you are looking now to make at least 3 times as much as we are risking. Now, this is a high probability strategy because it's a breakout strategy. Now, all you need to do is obviously to follow the rules. So when you have a breakout, you enter 1% above the breakout line, okay, 1% above that. And then you have your stop loss 1% below the breakout line. And make sure you watch the video about risk that we showed you earlier. To make you scroll up if you haven't seen it. Because we're only risking 1% of our whole portfolio. So if you have 10,000 in your account, you're only risking how much? That's right, 100 on this specific trade. But we're looking to make 3%. But that's why it's so important that you start with a demo account. Because in the beginning you will go, well, I don't know what happened, but I risked 10%. That cannot happen when you are live. Does that make sense? So I want you to be starting to do this, right? I want you to start to see these patterns and start to trade, right? That's very, very important. Now, when we are investing, on the other hand, that's going to be the other one. And the investing one is going to be the focus for the next video, okay? It's going to be the focus for the next video. But if you have a look here, if we're instead investing, it's going to be the focus for the next video. So make sure you look at that, you watch that. But what we do then is, if the stock is doing this and then goes down, we invest as it goes down. No one does that. Everybody would invest up here maybe, woohoo! Like in Bitcoin now, everyone's fully invested at 60,000. It's gone from 3,000 to 60. Apple has gone from a few, like $30 to a couple of hundred. So what you need to learn here is, don't just go in, wait for it to drop. And we're going to be looking at how you can really do this and apply this in the next video as well. But what we're going to do now is just quickly to also head over to the computer here, just so I can show you an example here. So what I want to show you is this. So if we have a look at, could really be anything really. So let's look at Tesla, because I know a lot of people like Tesla. And this is really volatile. So what we would do here, if I just scroll back and I can show you here, this is a replay function. It is a really cool tool. But if you have this here, you can see here, it's moving sideways, and this is the highest point it was. And you've now learned how to draw the horizontal line like that. Boom. Yeah. And that's the breakout. This is the breakout we're looking for. Remember that breakout line? And you enter 1% above that line, stop loss 1% below. And look at what would have happened here. So it goes on, that's every day, it closes, it's close to it, and goes down a bit, and then it goes up, right? And then it goes up. So if you would have here placed an order 1% above, and this is a cool tool, by the way. If you go down to the middle here, you can then press on the arrow, and then you have the long and short position here. So now I press the long position, and then you can measure and put it exactly where you want to put it. And yes, there's a bit more rules to this. This is a great start, because what I'm teaching you here, and you can see here, the risk-reward ratio. So I'm looking at you, the green area now is 3 times as big as the red area down there. And let's see what happens. It then goes down a bit, and then it continues up, and boom, we would now have made 3% about a week later. So the point I'm making here is you need to start practicing, right? That's number one. I'm teaching you to walk here. So before you can run, you need to learn how to walk. This is such a good strategy. It's amazing to start with, and write this down, right? Write this down. That it doesn't matter how good analysis you do. It doesn't matter if you have the best strategy on the planet. if you don't just risk 1% of your entire portfolio, you will lose money. All right, I'm going to say that again. If you fail to do that and you risk 10%, you don't have a stop loss, God forbid, then you will lose everything. Because think about it. Let's say you make money, you're making money 99% of the time, but this 1%, this one time, it just continues down. It just completely empties your account. And that, my friends, is exactly what we want to avoid. So make sure you only risk 1%. And make sure you do watch that video, and if you have watched it, watch it again about the risk management, okay? So start to practice this. We're going to place these orders as well. I'm going to show you how to do that in the coming videos. But I really hope you enjoyed this video where we went through what to invest in, what to trade with, and also how you can get started, okay? So that's great. So start practicing. Write comments below. What do you think about the strategy? Have you used it before? Are you going to use it? And how is it going? Give us feedback so we can help you. And don't forget to press the subscribe button and also the like button if you would like to get these videos on a regular basis sent to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next.